Congress is attempting to force nearly $500 million onto the Army to purchase Abrams battle tanks, and the military is saying, no thanks. And Congress is then saying, no, you have to. You don't often see a battle going on like this. We've had the sequester recently, and part of the sequester was cuts to military funding. And in the past 10 years, both Rumsfeld and now the Department of Defense under President Barack Obama are attempting to save money in the military where they can. But it's extremely difficult to actually do that in practice. And this is going to be an amazing case study of that. So, the Abrams Program, what are we talking about? We're talking about $436 million that Congress is trying to appropriate for the purchase of new Abrams tanks and the retrofitting of new electronics gear and other improvements to existing Abrams tanks. Now, the military is saying, we don't need this. Actually, we have a quote from General Ray Odierno. He says, if we had our choice, we would use that money in a different way. Now, you might think, okay, he's a general, and the Army's chief of staff, by the way. He probably knows what he's thinking. But maybe congressmen know better what the military should be doing with its money. So we have a couple of people, mainly in Ohio, but unfortunately this is all over the country, who are lobbying for increased spending on military technology. Today we're looking at the Abrams, but this goes on in dozens of different programs all the time. So Representative Jim Jordan, he is a Republican, but there are Democrats that are doing this too. He says, look, the plant, which we're going to describe, is in the 4th Congressional District, and my job is to represent the 4th Congressional District, so I understand that. But the fact remains, if it was not in the best interests of the national defense for the United States of America, then you would not see me supporting it like we do. So he's one of the men in the House pushing for this money. Now, let's give you an idea of why someone like Representative Jim Jordan, who does not know quite as much about military technology as General Ray Odierno knows, why is he doing this? So you might not be surprised to find out that there's a lot of money in this. And the military contractors, both for the Abrams program and for others, have been very good about spreading their supply lines and their contractors, their subcontractors, all over the country. So here's some details on the program. Just for the Abrams battle tanks that we're talking about here, there's 560 subcontractors, 560 different companies working to produce this one, albeit extremely complicated project. Among those contractors, there's over 18,000 people who are employed. And 40 of the companies, by the way, are in Pennsylvania. There are also a number of extremely important subcontractors that are located in Ohio. So one of them we're going to spotlight is the 5th largest employer in Lima, Ohio. Has 700 employees, and it spent $11 million in lobbying. By the way, also General Dynamics, one of the major contractors who are involved in these programs, also spent $11 million just in 2012 lobbying. So we previously cited that number, 18,000 people working on this project. Now, when you are receiving campaign donations, as Representative Jim Jordan and others, including Democrats, are, that's very important to you. That money is going to disproportionately influence your chances of winning your next election, and so you're going to listen to those people. I don't think that 18,000 people's jobs are unimportant. But if the Army is saying we have enough tanks, you might have noticed we haven't been having a lot of recreations of the Battle of the Bulge in our fights against Al-Qaeda. Maybe we don't need to build more of these, but unfortunately we will. So I'm not exactly sure where we're going to go from here on this project. There have been projects in the past that have been canceled despite the fact that there's a lot of support for them, but tons of money have been spent on these tanks. The average Abrams tank in the military's arsenal right now is less than 3 years old, which is mind-blowing to me. On the Young Turks, Steve-O likes to talk about the fact that there are actual there are storage yards for tanks, I believe in Arizona, Nevada, states like that just have thousands of tanks just waiting there. Look, someday we might very well be involved in a conflict with a Russia or a China or an India or something like that, perhaps North Korea, where we would need to ship over tanks. I think we've got enough for now.